Hey y'all, it's your girl Gemini Jazz with House of Chiron, and we are back with another episode of Galactic Gossip. So this week I have my office. Finally, I'm able to record in here, and it's going to be slowly coming together, but I am very happy with the progress that we have made thus far. So welcome to the new space of where everything will be recorded for the most part, everything, unless I just get like a sporadic, word in the middle of the day and just decide to do a YouTube to talk about something. But anywho, so really quick this week, well, before we do that, I just want to say before I forget, thank you. Thank you for being here. If you are new to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you are a returning family member, because that's what you are family, welcome back. I hope last week was great and good because it was a lot lighter than what it has been. So we're going to move right in to the energy for this week. But before we do that, we are going to talk about some announcements. As usual, the Celestial City membership is open. We have some new things that are being added this month. And moving forward, there's going to be some new incentives and other things in the membership. So if you have not signed up for that, please do so. You can find the link in the description box below. Also, the August yoga full moon, the trauma conscious yoga full moon healing circle is now on sale for August for the full moon. So if you have not signed up for that, go ahead and hit that description box and get that information as well. All right, so now, let's get into this week's forecast. So this is going to cover the energy for July 18th all the way through July 24th. And starting off this week on the 20th, we have Mercury, which is now in Cancer, making a sextile to Uranus and Taurus at 14 degrees. So this is the number 5, right? Number 14 is the number 5. So this is going to bring some type of positive change and transformation to our lives. And on this day, our psychic and intuitive abilities could be getting a bit of a spark because Mercury in Cancer is very intuitive. It's telling us to rely less on our logic and more so on our emotional sensitivities and tapping into our bodies. And so that sextile that it's making to Uranus and Taurus is going to be providing more stimulation to that already psychic energy. It's going to give us a heightened sense of awareness, and that could also bring in some different things like a newfound revelation or some type of discovery through maybe a dream or a vision or even some type of conversation, because that Mercury energy is all about communication. So whether it's communication from the other realms, the astral realms, from the divine, or even just a communication that you're having with someone, or maybe even receiving some type of correspondence, whether a letter, a text message, an email, something is going to be giving you an awareness to something or some type of discovery or revelation that you were unaware of. Okay, because like I said, Mercury rules communications of all kinds. So we can expect an increase in conversation, also an increase in our relating experiences with others. And there might be a thirst for unconventional knowledge. So you might dive into science or something else that is not typically something that you would be into or interested in. And you might find that this is a new discovery or something that you could really use in your life. So today is a great day to share your ideas with people. This also might provoke some type of new perception of a situation in our life. So keep the communication open. Also keep your minds open to learn something new on this day. Okay, so the very next day on July 21st, we have Venus leaving Leo, and it is going to be entering into the sign of Virgo on July 21st. So Venus has been bold and grandiose in the sign of Leo for the last 4 weeks. And so now we are going to have Venus in Virgo. So Venus in Virgo is known as being the nagger in the relationship because it pays so close attention to the fine details. Also, Venus in Virgo is a very choosy lover, I must say, and make sure that when you go around someone that has Venus in Virgo, that you are clean and pristine, because that's that Virgo, that is that perfectionistic energy. But although this placement in a natal chart gets a bad reputation, it's one of the most service-driven placements to have. So this transit is really going to be encouraging us to show up in our love language more practically by exercising things such as doing favors and doing chores for our loved ones, just handling regular tasks, just showing your love in a more practical way, taking something off of your loved one's table or off their plate, so the load is less, it's not as heavy for them to carry, like, hey, I can handle that for you kind of energy. So at the start of this transit, Venus is going to make an opposition to Jupiter, which is in Pisces still, and it's going to be making it hard for us to focus and take things as critical as we normally would with the typical Venus and Virgo energy. But that's just the beginning of the transit. Nevertheless, this entire transit is going to be helping us be more practical in our approach to love, as well as our finances for the majority of this transit, because Venus rules our finances as well. So we could be really focusing on the detail about how we are spending, where the money is going, and how we can save, and how we can become more disciplined in our financial lives as well. So keep that in mind. Then on to the 22nd, we have Venus and Virgo making that opposition to Jupiter in retrograde in Pisces that I just mentioned. This is happening at 0 degrees. So 0 degrees is like highly potent energy. So this is like typical Virgo energy, but the typical Virgo discipline is going to go out the window when this planet, the planet of love and money, makes this opposition to Jupiter in Pisces, because Jupiter, especially in Pisces, Pisces rules escapism, and it could be escapism through addictions or obsessive energies, overindulgence. And then when you have it making this opposition to that Jupiter, so it can bring out more of the negative qualities of Jupiter. Jupiter rules abundance, but it can also be an overinflation or overabundance in the negative aspect. So with Venus and Virgo, this transit is going to have us showing up more practically in our finances and our love life. But on this day, on the 22nd, we will be feeling more relaxed. We will have a more relaxed energy and might find ourselves splurging. And that's if we have the means to do so, because that Virgo energy still has some type of hold on it, right? If we have the means to do so, then we will. So on this day, we will possess that incredible energy to really enjoy our loved ones by connecting over a indulgent meal, a very decadent meal, or even a night out on the town with your friends. This is highly influential on this day. But also, like I mentioned, be aware that this transit can provoke us to do things like overdo it, like overspending, overeating. Although it's a beautiful time to take a break and enjoy like a vacation if you're on vacation, or a lovely date with your partner, just be careful that you are not overspending or overeating and you have to pay for it later, because you know how Virgo is. Virgo is like, okay, everything needs to be in order. It needs to be perfect. It needs to be, you got to have that discipline, you got to have that order. So if anything gets out of order under the influence of this energy, then you're going to have to pay for it later on. So we will be really feeling less focused on business and like severe topics. And we will just be concentrating more so on the fun. All right. So also on this day, we have the sun entering into Leo. So this is the start of Leo season. Finally, the sun has returned home, right? So first, happy solar return to all of you bold and beautiful and dynamic Leos. I hope that the season is going to be serving to you and lovely for you and shines a bright light on your soul. So speaking of the soul, the sun rules our vitality and our soul, right? It's our soul expression. Is who we are at the core. It's what gives us life. It gives everything on this planet life. So when we get a returning of the sun, we get a returning to our soul in a sense. We come to life again, especially with the harsh energies that we have been experiencing over the last, 6 months or so, longer, must I add. So the joy and the happiness and the fun will be at an all-time high during this season, especially after enduring so much that we have. We will have a bold focus on our individual goals as well as our success, because that's that Sun Leo energy. It's all about our passions and our purpose that's going to be ignited yet again. And the sun energy is going to give us that push that we need to feel alive within pursuing our endeavors and our goals, right? So we're going to have that ambitious, courageous, confident nature like a Leo lion does, to just be who it is that we are, and being confident in who we are, and being proud of who it is that we are and how far we have come. So speaking of how far we have come, on the next day, right after Leo season begins, we have that full moon in Aquarius peaking at 1 degree. So we're going to be looking back at how far we have come with this full moon in Aquarius. So this is happening on July 23rd, and it's really culminating that Saturn-Uranus square energy that we've been experiencing all year long, right? So this is like the big energy of the week. So the full moons are at an all-time high right now. Like every time a full moon happens, it's like, okay, what is it bringing, right? So it's bringing in different energies. And mostly like full moons are a time for us to do reflection and releasing. So we reflect on what has come and what has gone, and how we have improved and elevated and grown over that cycle, right? Over the phase, the culminating phase of that full moon. And then whatever is not supposed to stay must be released and allowed to transition on as we move on into a new journey, right? As we recognize the journey that we have taken this far, we also realize what is no longer serving us, so we can let go in order to embark on the next journey that is ahead. That's what this energy is about. So this is not necessarily activating that Saturn-Uranus square energy that we've been dealing with, that's been bringing up the same topics and the same energy throughout this entire year. And I'm sure like we don't want any of that anymore. Like we're almost done with that. So this is still just kind of like saying, hey, look how far you've come. Look at where you are now. Something is going to be coming to a culmination. So whatever it is that we have been dealing with that Saturn-Uranus square, it's like the resolution is here. You see where this is going. Now you have no choice but to make that change. So it's like it's showing you that even if you're not ready to make that change, we're going to feel like taking that leap. Like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to take this leap, even though I don't feel like I'm ready. I'm just going to go forward. I'm just going to be whatever it is I need to be whenever that time comes. I'm just going to show up in whatever it is I need to show up in, because I'm taking this leap. Something needs to change. I need freedom. So Aquarius is all about that. It's all about the innovation. It's all about freedom, liberation. It's all about the people. What is good for the people, the collective consciousness, right? So we see what is best for the collective consciousness with this full moon in Aquarius, and what old traditions or old systems that need to be eliminated out of our lives individually, that's going to affect us ultimately collectively, right? Because they're no longer assisting us in achieving our highest authenticity. So things have to be released. Things have to be let go of in order for us to embrace who it is that we are at our core soul expression, right? The sun is now in Leo, so we're going to be challenged to really embrace who it is that we are at our core. Okay. And also keep an open mind, because Aquarius is about innovation. It's about something new. It's about being open-minded to experience something, but still, having its traditions, having its values in place, and still being open-minded to what is, right? So that Aquarius energy is just embracing us even more so to align to our autonomy while desiring equality for everyone. So you can still be who it is that you are and want whatever it is that you want for everyone else. Still be, that what is it that I have as an individual that can benefit and assist the collective as a whole, right? Who and what can I offer that's going to assist everyone? That energy. Aquarius is the humanitarian, it's the philanthropist of the sign of the zodiac. So yeah. So let's see, with this Aquarius energy, we can now like release the fears and the oppressions that we have been experiencing for this entire year. And we can clearly see like what beliefs that we've held on to, what ways of being, right? Like the habits, the day-to-day living, the systems that are here in place in our lives, which of these things have been holding us back, right? And this moon is going to come to a culmination. It's going to shine that light on those dark parts, on those shadow parts that's happening in our lives, within us as well. and show us what needs to be let go of. Because anything that is no longer of use to us individually or collectively must be released, because we are embarking on a new time, right? We are in the age of Aquarius. So last but not least, we have Mercury, which is in Cancer, making a trine to Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And this is happening at 22 degrees. So this is like a union of something, right? It's making a trine. This is a beautiful, really great energy. That 22 is allowing some type of foundation, right? Especially with Mercury being in Cancer. It's about your foundation, the perceptions of your foundation. It's about feeling safe and secure. So there's going to be an increase in our imagination, in our creativity, in our emotional sensitivities, our psychic abilities, our intuition, as well as our connection to the divine. So feeling secure that you have that ability, that you know what you know, that you feel what you feel, and all of that is valid. We will be occupying like our dream state more than reality in a sense on this day. So it's kind of like a day to dream about your future, envisioning those fantasies and those creative ideas for your future and what it is that you would like to have, especially right after. So this is happening the day after the full moon. So this is on the 24th. After we release things, now it's time to envision what we want, what it is that we desire. What are we going to replace those things that we have released and let go of? Because as you release, you invite new. So as we release the old, we are inviting the new. So now what is it that we're going to dream up? What dream can we dream of what life can we dream up now? You know, our mental capacities are going to help us align to those things. But also keep in mind that it's Neptune in Pisces and it's retrograde. So although it's making a beautiful trine, our mental capacities could be a little clouded. So it's not an ideal time to like sign contracts or commit to anything permanently under this transit. Just dream, tap into the artistic side of ourselves, right? We may not be seeing things as we need to, as they indeed are. So those rose-colored lenses are on and we're just feeling very dreamy. This energy is more for those artists, right? It's for the poets, the people who paint and do art. This is for dancing, this is for singing, this is for creating movies and cinema, all of those things. So tapping into that and allowing yourself to dream up a world or a life that you desire for your future. Okay, so I hope that this information has been helpful and beneficial to you. And I look forward to connecting with you all again next week. Thank you for tuning in to Galactic Gossip. Bye. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead.